Alright. We got ourselves an interesting video. I think we are going to go ahead and rank every World Finals that has been. It's been over a month and a half since World Finals 22 in Nashville, and so all the dust is settled. And I think I've got really a bunch of my opinions in. Some other World Finals are kind of vague to me, but there's obviously some standout moments and some other kind of aspects of each show. So obviously got the ones in the best, and we got the ones in that are very good, the ones that were solid, the ones that were okay, and the ones that were just meh. There's not really a true bad World Finals. Every World Finals has its moment. We're gonna start off where it all began at World Finals 1 in 2000. This was a pretty alright Kickstarter to the whole World Finals, but with Gravedigger hitting 6 ramps and winning with a 40, that's something. Overall, it was a pretty alright start. World Finals 2 I thought was a little bit better. More interesting racing by far, as well as amazing freestyle that was put out by Tom Meents for his winning run. 2001 World Finals 2 ranks a little bit higher than World Finals 1. And now World Finals 3, the absolute domination show by Tom Meents once again, this time in Team Meents. 2002 overall was pretty solid. World Finals 4 in 2003 had a couple of memorable moments. Jim Kohler and Avenger winning freestyle was also really cool. I don't think it kind of ranks up to what 2001, 2002 were. I thought this was pretty okay. World Finals 5. I have lots of things to say about World Finals 5. I'm going to say right now, I think this is last on the list out of all 22 World Finals that has ever been. Racing was good. Gotta give it some credit where credit's due there. Freestyle had a couple of moments with the El Toro Loco running into Bounty Hunter. Jim Creedon did say don't do it. But that moment right there accounted for being part of a 3-way tie, which should not have happened. Tom's winning run, which I think should have been like the standalone winner. Not a lot of going there. He was just kind of, just flooring around, dragging the truck around, stuffing into a wall, which was on his own pretty good, but otherwise, this was just not a favorite of mine at all. 2005, World Finals 6, the first kind of rainy, muddy World Finals, which we won't see for many years after this point. I would say I really like this World Finals. I'm almost borderline to put it in very good, but for now I'll put it in it's a very solid. I think this is the best one so far. Very unique and cool racing with kind of the slicker track, but it made for really good racing, especially Medusa winning. And the freestyle as well had a really good great moments, especially with Jimmy Creedon winning it with a pretty solid run. So I definitely give World Finals 6 some points there. World Finals 7 is the first very good World Finals. Very good racing, as well as a very memorable freestyle competition. Overall, this was a very enjoyable show. One that's going to rank right ahead of it. World Finals 8, 2007. This one was... it's borderline superb, but I think it's also just really solid as well. Fun racing competition, as well as memorable moments in freestyle. Jim Kohler, Avenger, sending it over that one fountain ramp and just crashing into the wall. I can't tell if that has been 2007. This also might have been the one with the Monster Save. I borderline get these two mixed up, but they're both really solid in their both respective manner. I think 8 has the upper edge. But right as I say that, this is the one that I consider to be the pinnacle, the top notch, the top god, top one. Everyone knows it. World Finals 9. What can I say? Amazing racing competition. Batman winning, but then the start of the show was freestyle with Chad Tingler's top 5 winning opening run of all time with the jump over the triple. Donkey Kong had this amazing save. Scarlet Bandit had one of the craziest saves of that time period, and then Adam Anderson and Taz, top 3 winning run of all time. Absolutely laid it down. This World Finals is just magical. Then we kind of go down a little bit, a lot, but World Finals 10 had its moments. I put it right between 6 and 2. Racing was fun with two major crashes, with Adam going into the tree in the chicane in Thunder Alley, and then in the finals, Cap's curse could not brake, literally, and literally went into the stands in probably the craziest crash in Monster Jam history. Freestyle as well had its moments. Damon Bradshaw laid down a really, really good run. And overall, I think it was an overall really solid show. World Finals 11. Fun racing, not so fun freestyle. Very good racing competition. Very, very good. The Max D Gravedigger Finals, that was a blast. But freestyle drags it down a lot. I genuinely can't say what other memorable runs there were other than Stone Crusher, Escalade, and Monster Mutt. I think those are the only 3 runs that really had something going. Detrimental track, it was just not. It was not a good time. The encore was fun though. World Finals 12. Very good. Borderline among the best. Very good racing competition. And that's when freestyle introduced the backflip. Cam McQueen Nitro Circus said, I'm going to do it first thing, no matter what. And he did, with another top tier opening run. And he held it all the way up until Jim Kohler, which we'll get to in a second. You also have people like Medusa and Chris Bergeron hitting the backflip as well, but not much of a hill. Good to Legend, Adam Anderson had a really good run as well. And then Jim Kohler lays down an amazing run to get his second world title. And I think where this show really shines is the encore. The triple Max D's, the triple grinders, and then Son of a Digger debuts. And Ryan Anderson, if he was in the competition, that would have been a top 5 winning run. That was easily winning if he was in the competition. So World Finals 12 is very, very memorable. And now our next entrant into the best tier, World Finals 13. Great racing and amazing finals between Tom and Damon. And that freestyle had a very fair share of good moments. But with Cam McQueen laying down an amazing run with a front roll and a backflip, and then you also had Jimmy Cretin with that twist backflip, El Toro Loco getting stuck in the container, George Bellhand's consecutive backflip. This show was outright nuts, and I love it. And once again, just like 12, the encore is the second best encore in Monster Jam history with the Gravedigger. I'm just going all out. I have mixed feelings about World Finals 14. I think it's one of the most forgettable. I'm going to put it at the top of OK tier, above 4. Racing was good. I liked racing. Adam Anderson winning. Freestyle. Pablo had a good run. Lindsay had, I think, the winning run. I think he would have straight up won if bonus time wasn't there. And Tom's run was also very, very good. But other than that, there was just not that much going for it, I don't think. But I will say is that the Max D encore is the greatest encore in Monster Jam history. Absolute chaos, perfectly suited Max D. It just had everything. World Finals 15. It's not gonna be part of the best, but I'm going to put it to the very good. I have a very soft spot for this because this was the first ever World Finals I went to in person. I was like 11 years old, and it was just a very, very memorable experience because racing in itself was actually really good. And this is also the first World Finals that was 2 days. It gets a little bit overlooked and a tad overhated for like the track and whatnot, which we'll get into in a second. But racing was honestly very good. Adam wins back to back. That controversial semis, which I guess was warranted because Tom got shut off for no reason, but other than that. And then Tom goes flying in the finals. Adam wins. Freestyle, I genuinely think it's overlooked a lot more because everyone thinks, oh, that's where Todd the Duke did the big leap, which we'll get to in a second. Freestyle had its moments, actually. Like, Captain America absolutely threw down and held the ground for like a very long time. The Patriot, Dan Rodoni, had a really good run. Barbarian did a backflip. And then Scott Buto actually had a decent run. And then the very obvious one, Todd LeDuc and Metal Militia introduced the LeDuc leap. And that will be a moment I will never forget, seeing that in person, in which I consider the greatest winning run of all time. And then Tom Hintz does a great run as well. And the Doomsday Encore, I think, was pretty solid. I think World Finals 15 highly deserves its spot and very good. I have very mixed feelings about World Finals 16. I'm gonna put it... I'll put it ahead of 14 in the solid. It's just... I don't know. It's very between solid and okay. I think this is the weakest track, like both racing and freestyle. Especially freestyle is the weakest track in World Finals. Todd LeDuc winning racing was really good. The racing was really fun. The racing encore was really good. Freestyle did have its moments, such as Neil Elliott. Charlie Pauken had a really great run. Rachel Legend as well. And then Mikey Vodder's Over Evolution with a really solid winning run, which I still don't think the big air at the end should have counted, which I don't think they did. But I genuinely think Ryan should have took it, which his run was absolutely amazing. For some reason, I'm just not the biggest fan of this one. I'll put it ahead of 3 actually, but it's solid. And here comes my second in-person World Finals, World Finals 17. This World Finals is way too overhated, and I'm implying to put it above 15. Racing was actually really fun. There were some very close races. And in the finals, you had Morgan Kane. Took away the opportunity of Todd going back to back. And I thought that was insane. There was a ton, and I mean a ton, of really good moments. Cole Vinard, Purple Gravedigger, with an amazing top tier opening run. And then you had moments like Brianna Mahan Medusa actually pulled down a really great run. Dennis Anderson, which people argue should have been the winning run. Mark McDonald with a really great run. Adam Anderson lays down the winning run, according to the judges, which he had in regulation, the best regulation, hands down. And then barely got his 1.5 points from that backflip, which I think should have been half a point. I don't think he should have been winner. It should have been Damon Bradshaw, which Damon Bradshaw, he just killed it. He got so much air and everything, a couple mini saves, didn't need a backflip. He should have been the lockdown winner by far. That's the only thing that kind of lowers it down for me ever so slightly. This is still a great World Finals. World Finals 18. I'm going to put it among the best, but lower than 13. Racing was really good, obviously. An amazing finals between Ryan and Tyler. And then that 25th anniversary encore. Freestyle had a very fair share of good moments. Nick Bryce Kenny save. And then there's 3 standouts, though, that really rank this up. Jim Kohler, Neil Elliott, and Lee O'Donnell. Jim Kohler absolutely went off. Speaking of Jim Kohler, not only in freestyle, he got to the semis in racing. This was easily Jim Kohler's best World Finals in terms of like consistency and results. And he just got the huge stare of the night. Absolutely went off at his run. And then Neil Elliott, which I argue should have been the winning run. Great air and momentum, and then that reverse backflip with the save at the end as well. He had everything. Mad Scientist, we all know, the front flip. It was crazy at the time. The rest of his run was just decent. So that's my only thing about it. I think that should have been Neil Elliott. However, this World Finals as a whole, very, very good stuff. World Finals 19, I consider to be the most overhated World Finals ever. This was my 3rd World Finals, and I'm going to put it, it's ahead of 6. It's a very solid show. It's not what people are making out to be of bad. Racing was great. Very good amount of close races, tons of close races, and in the finals, a Gravedigger ditto between Adam and Tyler. I wanted Tyler so bad, but Adam just barely got him. I was so mad at the time, but it is what it is. Very fun racing competition. And then the Max V Encore after racing was great. Not as great as 13's freestyle. People say, oh, everyone crashed, only Mutant and Son of a Digger did good. Which is no, absolutely not the case. You had people like Justin Seitz with a great save. Colton Eichelberger had a great opening run. Dragon had a great run. Bari went back into the pits and came out the other side for a nice air. Rosalie, while it was a one-hit wonder, great air. Overall, this was actually really solid. Charlie Pauken and Lindsey Wink both had really good runs as well. And then obviously the final two that were mentioned. Todd LeDuc with that flat spin, he had the leading run. Everyone thought he was going to win, but then Ryan Anderson pulls off probably, I would say, a top 3 winning run of all time with relentless momentum in air, and then he did the first ever backflip to moonwalk, and the crazy finish, he just solidified it. And then there was the Rampage Encore, which it wasn't that bad as people make it out to be. It was cool for what it was. And that was the end of the Las Vegas era. We go over to Orlando in 2019. Now I have to say, World Finals 20 was very solid. It's introduced a bunch of things. New location with the ATVs and the Speedsters, championships, people like Matt Cody winning as well. And racing on its own was, I think, probably the most entertaining part of the whole event. The downhill racing was great. Lots of surprises, lots of upsets. But the peak of it was obviously the finals. Jimmy Cretin finally winning his second world title. Freestyle, which I think was actually really good on its own. A couple of very solid runs. Jimmy Cretin had a great save. Justin Sipes had a great save. Mohawk Warrior had an insane save for Rodozer with the save of the night. And then we get to the later part. Todd LeDuc sends it like crazy. Camden Murphy had so much potential. Then he completely broke off his front end. Tom Meents sent it, but then blew up. Brianna's run was insane. 3 different saves. Ragged edge. The flat tire does hurt it, but I don't think too much. And then Lindsey Wink. Very consistent run throughout. Nice air. And then the 2 backflips and with a little bit of save reverser style after the second one. And the World Finals takes a 3-year hiatus because of you know what. But it's back in Orlando. And I think that this solidifies itself behind 12. I really enjoyed World Finals 21. This was the 4th World Finals I went to. The racing was incredible. New style with the under-over, which was actually made for a really good event. Because there was a lot of good close matches, very entertaining racing, and then the finals. The finals was probably the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life between Brandon and Ryan. It was pure cinema. And then obviously Ryan hits something which breaks his tire. Brandon does a 270 and he takes the championship with obviously one of the most memorable photos in Monster Jam history. And then freestyle was actually really solid as well. Other than being in the middle of the day and super hot, we had runs like Cody Saucier, Charlie Pauken. Tyler had a really good run with the backflip to moonwalk to wheelie. Then we get to Tom's run, which was absolutely amazing. We hadn't seen Tom win a World Freestyle Championship in 9 years at this point. And so to see him absolutely go off on that track and take it all was great. Some people argued that Ryan should have won, which Ryan's run its own was really good. But I think Tom really solidified himself with that freestyle. 1 to go. The most recent one, World Finals 22 in Nashville. And I gotta say, I think it deserved its spot in the solid tier, right above 10. Yeah, obviously, weather had a big factor in this. This was also the first World Finals in 10 years to go back to 1 day for the whole event. And I gotta say, I think it didn't disappoint. Racing on its own Actually, no, it was high jump. High jump and skills actually kind of got messed up because of the rain, so they weren't kind of at like 1 o'clock. It was more like 4 o'clock. High jump was pretty good as well, with Ryan just absolutely dominating. Cynthia got really close, and then skills is a little controversial. Which skills was not great. There was only like two standout runs, which were Tyler and John Zimmer Jr. Tyler absolutely deserved that. I'm so glad he's finally a World Finals champion. I don't care if it's skills or how he did it. He's considered a champion. That's all I care. And then racing happened, which I think was the best part of the show. Very entertaining. We saw the downhill once again into St. Louis style. Lots of close races and a ton of upsets as well. And then the finals. I was happy with either one, Tristan or Camden. Camden struck, fails on him, and Tristan England takes it, which is absolutely crazy. Halftime happens, and then freestyle with a fair share of good runs, especially Chris Kohler. I was losing it during his run. He would have definitely won if he would have kept on going. And there were some other really good runs as well, such as Weston Anderson and Todd LeDuc with a crazy high backflip, which was the highlight of the whole show. And then you have Cole Venar with a really great ragged edge run. But then Colt Stevens comes in with the brand new Thunder Roars and pulls down a really solid freestyle up to par with Cole's run. Gets the biggest air of the night into a mini save, and then backflip into another backflip, which has not been done in a really long time. And that solidifies him the championship. So two Texas boys taking the titles in World Finals 22. I think this World Finals is already being overhated quite a lot. And so there it is. Those are my official rankings for every World Finals. Now, obviously, I think these could fluctuate a lot, but I think this is what I currently think of every World Finals that has ever been. Share your thoughts if you'd like, but that's gonna do it for me, and I'll see you guys later.